Next is the most noteworthy item on the agenda, the keynote address by the Deputy President of IFAC, Dr. In-Ki Joo. Dr. In-Ki Joo is the chair of the IFAC Board's Planning and Finance Committee and a member of Nominating Committee since 2014. Dr. In-Ki Joo.
Thank you. Your Excellency, Mr. Mohammed Said, Minister of Economic Development, Mr. Hassan Jias, Auditor General, and other distinguished guests and friends of the profession. It's an honor for me to here in the beautiful the Maldives with you. Actually, I arrived several days ago and have had opportunity to enjoy a relaxed and peaceful time by the gorgeous ocean, escaping from the busy, air-polluted city life. It's a great experience. And I'd like to congratulate you on managing the country so well. And this beautiful Maldives is getting more and more worldwide attention as a top resort destination. And also I have another surprising present from the Maldives. When I arrived at the reception of the Bando Resort, I heard that Korea beat Germany at the World Cup. Germany is, especially that's is a great news for us because that Germany was defending world champion. So it's a great meaning. Actually, that in Asia is the first time to beat that defending champion in the World Cup history. So I thank you that the Maldives bring me some good news. So I should remember. I'd like to start by acknowledging this forum's title, Adding Values and Impacting Lives. This is an important message for your community as you work to establish a robust professional accountancy organization, or PAO, here in the Maldives. In thinking about the many ways in which professions' value impact our world for better, I'll speak to you today about 4 key issues. First, how establishing a PAO can help create and support economic sustainability. Second, why renewed focus on education is vital in this, the fourth industrial revolution. Third, why our profession should be very successful at attracting next generation talent. And finally, I will talk about the profession's role in fighting fraud and corruption. First, I'd like to acknowledge His Excellency, the Minister for Economic Development. So your presence reminds us that the government strongly supports the creation of Maldives PAO. It is a strong signal to the international community and investors that the nation support transparent, accountable governance. And that is, it is open for business. Ladies and gentlemen, let me now begin to address my first key point, how PAOs support economic sustainability. Mr. Auditor General, I'm mindful that this forum is initiative of your department. I've read your department's ambitious 2017-19 strategic plan. Among many excellent initiatives, it calls for legislation to incorporate the Maldives PAO. It is clear that your department has thought deeply about the need for the PAO and how such an organization will contribute to the national economic and the social good. The plan inherently understands many benefits of having homegrown accountants operating throughout the economy in the public interest. Within the public sector, high quality accrual-based financial information will help government make better, more informed decisions. This in turn will help support the provision of stronger public service that citizens both want and deserve. In the private sector, more accountants operating throughout the Maldives will in many ways support sustainable economic development and increased living standards. Personally, it is always a pleasure to meet those who aspire to IFAC membership. It is with pride that I tell you IFAC sets a high bar for membership. We believe the global accountancy profession we represent must truly act in the public interest. We believe citizens must see national payers and their members as a transparency and accountability expert in an important addition to both civil society and national economic development. In IFAC's service, I have traveled to many nations and met with those who want to develop PAO. Frequently, one might observe that there are too few people and too few resources to make the plan work. Sometimes one might think recent instability arising from national or regional conflict means that the process is doomed before it has begun. But I'll simply say the following cases. First, Rwanda. The Institute of Chartered Accountants of Rwanda was founded in 2008, and 4 years later, it was admitted as an IFAC associate. Second, Kosovo. The Society of Certified Accountants and Auditors of Kosovo was established in 2001, and it was admitted as IFAC associate in 2003 and attained full membership in 2009. Third, Bosnia and Herzegovina. There are now 2 IFAC members in the country. One was established in 1996 and admitted as a member in 2004. Second was established in 2003, admitted as an associate in 2010, and attained full membership in 2016. To see new IFAC members and associates being welcomed at IFAC Council each year is always a wonderful experience. In these instances, all 3 PAOs had overcome truly profound national difficulties to become part of the IFAC family. Incredible drive, deep passion, and unwavering focus were enough to overcome many issues, including scarce resources. And today, their contribution to national life and economic stability is strongly acknowledged. I know last year my friend Arjuna Harris, chair of IFAC's PAO Development Committee, outlined the journey the Maldives could travel to develop a national accounting profession, including the 7 statements of membership obligations, or SMOs, that IFAC member must adopt. One SMO, of course, deals with quality assurance. So it was excellent to see that Auditor General's strategic plan highlighting the need to implement quality assurance for licensed auditors. This is important understanding. As guardians of their own reputation, PAOs must practice strong quality assurance to help build public trust. And when things go wrong, strong investigation and discipline procedures help instill public confidence that wrongdoing is swiftly sanctioned. I congratulate the Auditor General for the preparation of this strategic plan and wish him and his team every success. I now turn to my second key point. Why a renewed focus on education is vital in this, the 4th industrial revolution. In 2016, Professor Klaus Schwab, founder of World Economic Forum, identified what he called the 4th industrial revolution. In short, the first industrial revolution used water and steam power to mechanize production. Second, used electric power to create mass production. The third, which commenced in the middle of the last century, used electronics and technology to automate production. And now, a fourth industrial revolution is building on the third, a digital revolution. The fourth industrial revolution is characterized technologies that blur the lines between physical, digital, biological worlds. But the speed and scope of this revolution has no historic precedent. It has important implications for the way humans live, work, and relate to each other. It also has immediate and deep implications for the accountancy profession. Our client and the community we serve are already using artificial intelligence or AI. At the most basic level, we must embrace the technology if we are to provide high quality service to our clients. But I believe we also need to do more work educating our profession, including ways to prepare next generation talent for the world of work. I must declare at this point an intense interest in education. When not on IFAC business, I am a professor of accounting in South Korea. I've been an accounting professor for 30 years. I've seen directly how accounting profession has evolved greatly. Teaching students and helping them explore the theory and the practice of accounting is my true passion. As a child, I remember how poor my country was after the Korean War. In fact, until early 1960s, my country was one of the world's 3 poorest in the world. It was so poor that chocolate was a luxury. I remember the first time I saw and tasted M&M chocolate candy. My friend gave me one, and for me it was very precious. It was so delicious that I couldn't forget the taste and the letter M printed on the candy. I thought each individual M&M must have a different letter of the alphabet printed on it, and I wondered how the other letters would taste. South Korea has since become one of the fastest developing countries in the world. Now it is an OECD member and a G20 country. One key reason for this rapid economic growth is our passion for education. Traditionally, every South Korean parent believes it is their divine duty to provide their children with the highest possible level of education. Investing in education provided brain power to drive South Korea's strong national focus on research and development. And this fueled our economy as we exported increasingly valuable high-tech products to the world. In this story, I see many similarities with today's accountancy profession. And just as it did to the South Korean economy, technology is helping drive the accountancy profession further up the value chain. Low value work is being automated, leaving accountants to be more productive strategic business advisors. And for the accountancy profession's continued sustainability, we must search for new talent people. We must assess whether our current education systems can train accountants of the future. We must also recognize that future talent may not come with traditional accounting degree. Enabled by technology, different pathways are emerged that could help create a profession comprised of many different demographics and education levels. From my perspective, the fourth industrial revolution poses 4 key challenges. First one, quality and relevance of educational system. It is vital that education systems provide broader skill sets. Second, how we learn. The days of memorizing large amount of accounting text are gone. Digital technology can unleash it for today's student, new platforms for learning and new ways of owning knowledge. Third, refocus the skills toolkit. The profession is rapidly moving away from focusing on recording data and taking a historical rear-view mirror approach to performance. Future accountants must be agile learners, able to integrate information from a range of competing sources, whether generated by technology or humans. Fourth, lifelong learning. All these digital challenges lead to even greater emphasis on lifelong learning. For me, it is always wonderful to hear students of all ages express a sense of accomplishment at learning something new. In many parts of the world, education providers have spotted the opportunity to combine CPA qualification with technology learning. For example, the University of Waterloo in Canada offers a Bachelor of Science degree in biotechnology or mathematics combined with chartered professional accountancy. In the Philippines, one can graduate with Bachelor of Science in accounting technology. Around the world, the profession is also responding. Many IFAC members are also partnering with local educational institutions to ensure university qualifications continue to evolve and to tailor continuous professional development programs for their own members. I'd like to now move on to my third key issue, why we should be very successful at competing for next generation talent. Last year's World Economic Forum Global Shapers Survey confirmed for the fourth consecutive year that environmental degradation was the #1 concern for millennials globally. Here in the Maldives, I am sure there is a much more widespread concern for this issue. In 2009, the Maldives cabinet convened in scuba diving kit underwater to highlight to the world the dangers of rising sea levels. At the UN Development Program meeting in Geneva last year, I reiterated IFAC's support for 2030 UN Sustainable Development Goals, or SDGs. In particular, IFAC has identified 8 SDGs in which accountants and peers can make a difference. That includes quality education, gender equality, and climate action. I believe the profession's clear support for SDGs is an important, relevant, timely message young people need to hear. The message to next generation talent should be clear. Join the accountancy profession and help create a more sustainable world. At the national level, Global Shaper Survey identified corruption as #1 concern for the world millennials. They also said it was their biggest impediment to getting a job. Their concern for corruption and the desire to see action taken against it brings me to my next point. How accountancy profession help fight fraud and corruption. For me, this is very much related to why millennials should become accountants. Professional accountants are uniquely placed to help support the fight against fraud and corruption. Of course, it is a fight that we cannot win alone. IFAC study released last year also showed that success is amplified when accountants operate in jurisdictions with strong institutions. For example, accountants working in organizations for OECD member nations with stronger oversight institutions were shown to have better outcomes in the fight against corruption. IFAC has concentrated its effort to defeat corruption, supply, and demand across 3 key areas: capacity building, stronger governance, and public finance management. I touched on the public finance management earlier, but it is worth mentioning again here. Worldwide, vast sums of money flow through the public sector each year. It is vital that government start the journey toward the adoption and implementation of international public sector accounting standards underpinned by accrual method. The standards help deliver fiscal transparency and accountability and provide complete and accurate information on which government can make wise spending decisions. It is clear that in this fight, everyone, including our passionate millennials, must play a positive and constructive role. Combating this problem will require intense, coordinated action across all civil society institutions, public, private, not-for-profit, and indeed spiritual. For me, PAOs are providers of more than just qualified accountants and strategic business advisors. Professional accountants and PAOs can work directly to support sustainability and fight corruption. 2 main areas of continued concern for next generation talent. Since the invention of double entry bookkeeping, we always stood for fiscal transparency. As Jacob So mentioned in his famous book, The Reckoning, for any country, including the Roman Empire, Spanish Empire, and French Empire, when they kept the public finance and its bookkeeping transparent, the country flourished. But when they intentionally ignored them, the country started failing. Today, we accountants stand for the public interest. The accountancy profession plays a critical role in building strong and sustainable economies, but we can't do it without good people. To attract them, we must reflect their passions and their desires. Modern, agile education and training systems are critical. From there, we must offer career opportunities that enable them to carry their spirit of innovation from the classroom to the boardroom. In a short space of time, I have covered a wide range of issues, and I hope show that they are not separate. This forum has brought together people who are passionate about the Maldives future and who believe in accountancy ability to make a positive difference. I frequently say there has never been a more exciting moment to be an accountant, but to this audience, I will say there's never been a more compelling moment to create a PAO. It will add value, and it will impact lives for the better. Thank you for your listening.